And welcome back to America's Forum right here on Newsmax TV. John Bachman in the middle seat, sitting in for J.D. Hayworth today, who is on jury duty. I promise I wouldn't break anything. Miranda Khan here.
So far, so good.
Javier Manjarres is here as well. And guys, this time is the time of the show, and we like to take a look back at the Sunday talk shows. Oh, I'm just kidding. No. We watch them so you don't have to at home, of course. Some folks might have better things to do than sit and watch TV on Sunday. I personally don't. But we do. there is a lot of important information that comes out of these shows. So let's get to the first issue, and that is the I word, ladies and gentlemen, still hanging around, whether you think it's Democrats stoking the flames or Republicans. We heard about it again on the Sunday talk shows. Of course, we're going to first turn our attention, though, to the lawsuit House Speaker John Boehner and Republicans filed against President Barack Obama, charging the president for changing the health care law by himself without the proper justification to do so. And on Fox News Sunday, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries and Steve King were discussing the lawsuit and the president's liberal use of the executive order. Take a listen.
He has not amended the law. He has not abolished the law. What he has done is delay implementation of the employer mandate in stages, consistent with what other presidents have done throughout history.
Well, Republicans say that's splitting hairs. Now, about the I word, Nate Silver of 538.com says Democrats are using that word more than the GOP recently. Both sides, of course, though, using that word to raise campaign funds. So is it really just a scam, as the House Speaker claims? Here's Congressman King.
The president has effectively changed the law of Obamacare. It is the clearest constitutional violation of the separation of power. I think Congress has to sit down and have a serious look at the rest of this Constitution, and that includes that I word that we don't want to say. And I only say that now on this program because I want to encourage the president, please don't put America into a constitutional crisis.
Well, so where do Democrats stand on impeachment? White House senior advisor Dan Pfeiffer, a guy who has not exactly thrown cold water on the impeachment rumors. In fact, some would say he is fanning the flames. He was on ABC News' This Week. Pfeiffer was asked about the fact that Democrats have been talking about impeachment more than the GOP in the last couple weeks, and about his role contributing to those impeachment rumors.
What I said was it would be foolish to discount the possibility that this Republican Congress at some point in time would consider impeachment.
But the Speaker said it's not going to happen. The chairman of the House Judiciary Committee told me it's not going to happen.
Right. And 5 days before the government shutdown, the Speaker said there's no way we'd shut the government down over health care. And lo and behold, we did.
All right, let's take a look at the numbers because they really tell us the best tale. In terms of fundraising, how are Democrats doing on this issue? Let's take a close look. $2.1 million raised from Thursday, July 31st through Sunday, August 3rd. So that's just over the weekend. That from the Washington Post there. Also $500,000 raised in just 24 hours following Sarah Palin's call for impeachment of President Obama back on July 8th. So Javier, should Republicans zip their lips anytime the impeachment words comes up? It's helping out with Democrats. They are obviously using that to benefit their campaign fundraising.
Well, first of all, President Obama has already made the case several times over why he should be impeached. But I agree with you and many other Republicans and Democrats. They should, well, maybe not Democrats. They should just keep their mouths shut. They're not going to go forward on it. It's going to hurt them in the next two election cycles. I think they're going to milk it as much they can, just like the Democrat to raise money. Sarah Palin's doing it. Other people are doing it. Marco Rubio is going to be doing it. I think, but at the end of the day, it's not going to go through.
So instead of read my lips, keep my lips shut.
Yes.
Something like that? All
Something
right.
like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Another issue we want to talk about, too, is the CIA and the Senate, the CIA spying on the Senate, the enhanced interrogation issue here. The CIA and the Senate, and CIA Director John Brennan apologized last week, saying that they did, in fact, spy on the Senate, and that the president also, this was somewhat strange, hearing the president use this type of language very casually from the White House, saying, hey, you know, we tortured some folks. Sorry about that. We're going to get back on track. Now, it was a busy and mind-numbing week on that front, hearing that type of language again coming from the White House. But over the weekend, the vice chair of the Senate Intel Committee, Saxby Chambliss, gave us and CBS's Face the Nation a preview of what we can expect when that classified document is released. Senator Chambliss says it will debunk claims that no actionable intel was gained from what the president called torture.
That is absolutely wrong, and you're going to be able to see from the report itself, as well as from the minority views that we have put together, as well as a response from the Central Intelligence Agency, that information gleaned from these interrogations was in fact used to interrupt and disrupt terrorist plots.
Now, Chambliss, who is retiring at the end of this term, called the Senate's decision to start the investigation in the first place 5 years ago a huge mistake, and Democrats might be in agreement with him right now. Over on CNN, Senator Angus King of Maine, who is independent but caucuses with Democrats, he also sits on the Senate Intel chair, or I should say committee, talked about those new allegations. He says it has undermined the trust that the Senate has for the CIA.
It's not good. I mean, the more important thing is the report itself, but this certainly undermines the kind of trust that you got to have. And here's the deal, Candy. When we do oversight of these agencies, which, by the way, nobody else really watches, we're the only one watching these guys, we've got to be able to rely upon what they tell us.
Now, Javier, this could be a huge issue in Colorado. Mark Udall, also on the Senate Intel Committee, using this. He's called for John Brennan to step down. Should more Republicans call for John Brennan to step down?
I don't think he should have been.
Or Democrats, I should say.
Well, yeah. I mean, why not? Everyone else gets asked to step down on anything that happens. I mean, someone's got to take the fall here. It's not going to be Obama. It's not going to be anyone else but Brennan. And I don't think he'll step down. I don't even think they'll kick him out.
Yes, the calls for resignations not stopping with Brennan, Eric Holder, John Kerry. The heat continues to be applied to the Obama administration, and so we'll see what they do. Expecting some sort of announcement, maybe this week, on the prospect of executive action.
I heard the CIA is looking into John Bachman and Newsmax TV as well.
Maybe or maybe not. We cannot confirm or deny those reports. Stole that one from the CIA Twitter feed. More to come here on America's Forum right after this. Of course, we'll always get to your comments, and that interview with Pat Buchanan is coming up.